Today I'm going to be walking you through exactly how I destroy the objection, I don't have time. Like over the last 2 years I've done about 1,000 sales calls and the close rate's about 89%. You don't need to be this like perfectly persuasive, sleazy, salesy person on a sales call to get your close rate very high and to get people over the line. Winning an argument is not the way to win the deal. When someone says I haven't got time, most of the time we all know you can make time for something you want to do, right? Do you really want to work that hard on every call? I haven't had to, because I ask the right questions early on, and that's just the truth. That's my reality. I've experienced it. I know you don't have to. That's why I believe in it, because I've literally walked the walk and I've seen the results it's brought for me. I want to put this information out there because I feel like there's not many people actually speaking like this, and I've lived it. I've seen this happen. Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be walking you through exactly how I destroy the objection, I don't have time. Now, before I get into this video, I'm not a sales guru, right? I actually believe in the complete opposite to what a lot of sales trainers teach online, which is not to handle objections and win that last 5% on the call, but to actually win the whole 95% by just being yourself, have an authentic conversation, actually care about the client and get them results, okay? And it's not as simple as that. It's actually just by asking the right questions. So I believe you should talk less on a call. You should just ask the right questions and listen well so you can actually provide the solution to the real problems they actually have. So if you're in agreement with me, you're not trying to become the new Wolf of Wall Street and just push every single person over the line, even if they're not qualified, even if you don't care about them, you don't think they're going to get results. This is not for you. Go find another channel. There's plenty of people out there. You know who I'm talking about. That will teach you to just try and close and force anyone to pay you money. This is about when you've got the right fit on the call, the right prospect, qualified leads, and you're still struggling to just close those deals. You want to make sure every single person that's qualified is actually closed as they should be, because you know your service can actually help them, okay? So if you want to become that person and ask the right questions, this is for you. First of all, let's just clarify what objections are, right? Most of the time, an objection, the common ones we talk about, which is like, I don't have time, I need to talk to my wife, I'm not sure if this is right for me, I need to think about it, I need to sleep on it. Like, those objections are smoke screens. Just think about it. Someone's just literally gone, frag out, thrown a grenade, smoke screen. It's not the real problem. They're trying to hide from the real problem, the real objection, okay? By pre-handling these common objections on the call during the conversation when they haven't got their barriers up, it just reduces the easy outs that they can use at the end of a call. So you want to just basically pre-handle all the common objections by asking the right questions early on in the call. And I'm going to tell you quickly, we're not going to keep this video nice and short, exactly how we handle the I don't have time objection. So my background, as you can see, I'm wearing the t-shirt today. PB Fitness Academy is an online fitness coaching company that I built, I grew. First of all, the demand was so high that, well, we grew the demand so high that I was handling over 100 clients myself, fitness clients, delivering a very good service. I was working flat out. Eventually decided I want to scale this puppy up and see how big we can grow it. The mission was to change the game in the fitness industry, hiring coaches, built a sales system, obsessed over the whole systems behind everything, obsessive with like the sales process, because that is what I was doing. I was taking every single sales call, and we grew to over 250 plus active clients, right? And this wasn't a cheap service. This was doing well. So we grew a very good business doing this, right? And that's why I got this down to an absolute T, because I was taking, like, over the last 2 years, I've done about 1,000 sales calls and the close rate's about 89%. Now, it's not something to be proud of, right? 89%. It sounds like I'm trying to say I'm amazing at sales. It's not. Realistically, the prices should have gone up if you got such a high close rate, as the people like Homozi will tell you. But we were very happy with it, and I wanted to just be able to take on a lot more people to fulfill all the coaches. So I didn't want to just put prices up, even though that would have probably been a lot more profitable. Anyway, looking back, hindsight's a beautiful thing. But yeah, that's my experience. That's how I got to the point where I nailed the call. We got the call down to literally like a 25-minute conversation, even 20 minutes at times, where we could literally take payment on the call in that time by just asking 18 questions. And this works for definitely the fitness service, but I also applied it to other businesses as well, like the accountancy service. So anyway, I'm talking really fast because I'm excited, but I'm going to get straight into it. And these are the two questions that you've come here for. Today, you want to know how to pre-handle the I don't have time objection. The first one is early on the call during the discovery phase. This is where you're asking the question specifically about them, their problems, everything that's going on. So let me just give you a fitness example. So I would ask them, as I would go through the training, I would go through the nutrition, but specifically to handle this, I would ask them about their work. I would be like, what do you do for work? What's your schedule like? And I would answer it in one little question. I try to be very specific and not ask 2 questions in one. But for this question, I would say, what is your work and work schedule like, and family commitments? So let's just say work, just as long as you cover these, and fam commitments. Oh my God. Right. Commitments. Yeah, that's what that means. So work and family. We'll just put family. That's a clear one, okay? So work and family commitments. Very simple question you can just ask. Someone's going to tell you what job they do. They'll say, this is my shift pattern. You find that out straight away. So you kind of know, like, it's a 9 to 5. It could be a shift pattern where they work early in the morning, they work night shifts, whatever it is, okay? Family commitments is something that you find out how many, like, responsibilities they have basically outside of work. So you get a picture of, like, how busy really is this person and where's their spare time. So this is where we then flip it straight away. After you've got that information, you listen well, you take notes, then we go to the next question. This one is a bit more complicated. So it's, if you had, depending on what your program requires, okay? So fitness program, very simple. It's literally about finding the time that they can actually go to the gym. The reason I asked this question is I want to know where I can slot the program in. So let's say they need to only train 4 times a week, 45-minute sessions. So they need about an hour window for the gym, okay? I would say to them, if you absolutely had to fit, 4 sessions in per week and spare 60 minutes, when would that be best for you? And they would easily say, because I've asked about work and I've brought up, that's fresh in their mind about their schedule, their family commitments, they'd say, during the weekdays, I could do it first thing in the morning if I commit to it. If I get up an hour earlier, I can do it first thing in the morning. They could say, I work a little bit early, I've got kids to take off to school and everything like that, so straight after work is when I can fit it in, because maybe that's when my wife picks up the kids from school, okay? Really simple. This isn't a complicated thing. Like, this is what I mean. But you don't need to become this, like, perfectly spoken person. As you can tell, I'm not perfectly spoken just now. This is how I am on calls as well. I'm obviously not so caffeined up where I'm like 100 miles an hour. But I'm always just listening, and I'm trying to ask the right questions so I can get the right information out of them. And you don't need to be this, like, perfectly persuasive, sleazy, salesy person on a sales call to get your close rate very high and to get people over the line. People are actually put off by that when you've got an answer for everything. Like, winning an argument is not the way to win the deal. That is something that I learned very early on as well. When you win the argument, you actually lose the deal. So you want to be on their side, and you want to be asking the right questions so that they can come to the conclusion that this is definitely the right thing for me. This is what I need to do. If it is, like, if it generally is, they will come to that conclusion. So the second question is just to clarify time for program. So an easy way to say it, like I said, is if you had to fit in 45 minutes to 60 minutes of work, whether it's going through your course, maybe they need to just spare 2 hours a week. When is the best time for them to do that? Just simply ask that question. Ask them. Get them to tell you. Because at the end of the call, if you haven't covered this, they can use it if they want to. Say no, they're not confident, because like I said, it's a smoke screen, and usually there's a deeper reason. They're not fully convinced. They don't totally trust you. They don't believe it's going to work for them. Like, there's a lot of those underlying truths that can be hidden by other objections. And that's why we call them objections, because they're not the real reason. So when someone says, I haven't got time, most of the time we all know you can make time for something you want to do, right? But unless you've got that information early on, once you've dropped the price, you've asked them to pay, and then they throw that, I don't think I have time to actually commit to this right now. It's not the right time for me. Very hard to not seem salesy when you try to tackle that head on at the end of a call. And this is where you see the sales trainers, the fancy reels that go viral, where they handle that perfectly, and then someone's like, oh, go on then, I'll just go for it. Let me get my card out and pay you. Like, do you really want to work that hard on every call? I haven't had to, because I ask the right questions early on. And that's just the truth. That's my reality. I've experienced it. I know you don't have to. So yeah, time for program. Find out where they can fit it in. And then you use the information that you've listened to from question 1 and question 2 to then respond with, okay, that's perfect. What we can do is this. Like, you're the expert, you're the authority, saying, as long as you're able to commit to it on a Monday and Thursday where you fit in time to watch this course, to go through this, to do the training, whatever it is your program requires, then yes, we can 100% make this a success. And then you move on to the next pillars that you need to cover. So like I said, there's 18 questions, 18 pillars I call them, that you need to go through. And the reason I call them pillars, right, is because think of it like a checkpoint. Think of it like you're playing Mario Kart and, the best one is, I don't know if you've been watching the Winter Olympics, but when the skiers are going down the slopes, right, and they have to go, they worm their way inside out to go through the little barrier, and they're right on the edge, going through those little checkpoints, I'll call them. And if they miss them, they're out. Yeah, there's 18 pillars you have to go through on a sales call. And why I don't like scripts and I prefer pillars is because a conversation can go absolutely anywhere depending on the person, right? And it can go way off script. Now, that's very hard to bring it back in line if it's off script. You're not following the plan. But if you're following pillars, what that means is the conversation can totally divert this way, but right, I have to get back to ask this question next. So can I divert that back and bring it back in line? Ask that question, then ask this question. It doesn't matter what their answers are or what they say. You take notes, you listen, and you make sure that you just cover every single pillar, every single question, and it will cover everything. It's like ticking off a checklist. It literally is ticking off a checklist. That's what I do on calls. I take notes and I tick off each question as I go through. Make sure I've covered them all. When I've covered them all, I know I've got all the ammunition I need to actually successfully take that person through the close, and collect the payment if it's the right thing to do for them. So that's why I believe in it, because I've literally walked the walk and I've seen the results it's brought for me. It's made sales an easy thing because you're just asking questions. You're not trying to be this perfectly spoken salesperson. And for me, that's the way I want to be. I don't want to be this person that just forces everyone over the line with like fancy sentences, fancy closes. Like, I really do believe that is just things that have blown up virally, because just like when you watch the film Wolf of Wall Street, it looks cool, it looks amazing, but then every guy that's probably watched it, right, me included, when you see it, like, wow, this is like, he was chasing $1 million a week. Like, it was like, it's crazy. Who wouldn't want that, right? And the life is just craziness at that young age. You must have thought, wow, you're living the dream sort of thing, right, for a young guy. But the reality is, like, he went to jail because he was screwing over absolutely everyone. He was forcing people to just spend their money and they're never going to get that back. So do you want to be that person? Because that's the reality of what these closers are doing when they force people over the line. That's not right. I think by asking the right questions, getting people to see the value, which is what these questions will highlight, and get them to make the decision confidently and then actually commit to the program, because that first conversation is built around trust. They trust you and they want to move forward with you. So yeah, it's worked for me. So I want to put this information out there because I feel like there's not many people actually speaking like this. Like, and I've lived it. Like, I've seen this happen. So yeah, let me know if you like this video, if you've got any questions about this, and comment below, and make sure you subscribe if you're trying to grow or scale a service business online. All the fundamentals are the same. When you look under the hood, when you look under the car, I'm not a car guy, but all the mechanics of a service business are very similar, regardless of whether it's fitness, accountancy, wealth management, whatever it is, whatever the service is, it doesn't matter. So I hope this makes sense. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.